Let us now examine the ritual-based political system in the Zhou Dynasty. First, there seemed to be a feudal system. The Zhou king conferred some of his power on the vassals. Those vassals are usually members of the royal lineage, and this feudal system was built on the ritual basis. It is in the ritual community of royal family that both the Zhou king and his kinsmen found themselves related on a kinship basis. And this is a formal structure that is defined for them to begin with. Well, this is a structure in which the royal ancestors, the king, the other members of the royal family, including those yet to be born, are to be embedded. It is a structural requirement that the king would delegate some of his power to his kinsmen. It is also required that the kinsmen pay homage to the king in return. Besides the kinsmen of the royal family, the local rulers who control the area beyond the Zhou sovereignty could also be given some political power on the condition that they identify themselves with the system. In the system, they could find themselves positioned on the ritual basis. They subject to the rule of the Zhou king, the son of heaven. Second, there seem to be bureaucratic structures of both the royal court and the feudal states. In this bureaucratic structure, the ruling class was closely linked by office to the royal court and to the courts of the local feudal princes. The titles of high office were offered to high officials who were trusted by the ruler in their capacity as generalists and advisors. The lower offices were occupied by experts in the protocols of ritual, ceremonial, and penal law. There were also people who took on the lower ranks of military organization. And all these experts constitute a social stratum, which was later called Shi. Confucius belonged to this social class, the social class of Shi. So, now we can characterize the political system of the Zhou Dynasty into 3 points. The first is the sacred ties of kinship among the feudal lords who belonged to the royal lineage. The second is a feudal strategies toward non-related lords. And the third is bureaucratic organization. These 3 factors combine to create a ritual system. And this is due primarily to the Duke of Zhou. Well, the ritual system is worth further exploring. In the Shang Dynasty, the spirits were put in the first place, while the rites second. However, the Zhou Dynasty put the rites first and the spirits in the second place. The Shang king derives their authority from the high god. The high god dominates the numinous realm, while the king rules the human world. The kingship in the numinous realm parallels the kingship in the human world. Unlike the Shang Dynasty, in the Zhou Dynasty, the ritual structure determines the father-son relation between the heaven and the Zhou king. The ritual structure provides the basis for the feudal system and bureaucratic system. And there remains the question of how normativity is derived with the ritual structure. The ritual structure based on the family model. In the family, the father performs a certain role in the familial order, but the role he plays is crucial to the maintenance of the whole familial order. On the one hand, the father is required to perform in accordance with the familial order, while on the other hand, his performance in a particular manner keeps the family in good order. So, the father has two roles to play: role performer in the family and the keeper of the familial order. Similarly, the king also has two roles to play in the ritual-based system: the supreme ruler in the kingdom and the guardian of kingship. In the same way, the heaven also has two roles to play in the whole ritual system: the absolute ruler and the ritual organizer. Normativity could be derived from the dual roles of the father, the dual roles of the king, and the dual roles of heaven. But it is the second role of the father, or the second role of the king, or the second role of heaven that keeps normativity in effect. Violation of normativity does not lie in the loss of the first role, but in the second role in the ritual system. In the book of poetry, we have the following lines: Heaven gave birth to the multitudinous people, but what it ordained is not to be relied on. There are none who do not have the beginnings of virtue, but few are capable of carrying it to an end. This is from the book of poetry. From these lines, we see that the maintenance of ritual order is crucial to the political rule. It is the king who is responsible for the maintenance of the ritual order in the kingdom.